And you can hear their footsteps if you listen really
Make me feel
good.
like I'm just at home. And some work to boot.
You guys think I'm crazy, but I'm not. I told you the lights were going to turn green. It's going to be a lot of people that die. I'm going to just tell you like it is. You're going to have breathing problems. You're not going to be able to be sustained by the universe because the universe is tired. And you're going to get out of here. That's all to it. It's wicked. Wicked ass people that has done nothing but cause evil and deprivation and neglect all over the planet. And when you die, it's not over. Your ass is going to be judged. And by this life that I tell you about.
You know, we know it, but to be able to hear from somebody else,
you can see the UFO.
it helps our morale.
There's no way you're going to try to act like you can't see the connection between these fires, the volcanoes, the street lights, as well as the sunlight. Okay? The sun is getting ready to kill a lot of you people off this earth because you're all materialistic, stupid, ignorant people locked down in religious dogma that doesn't do anything but perpetuate decadence and has no conscience of your God self, and so you're all going to be recreated by the green light.
We got to answer that no.
They like to put out the fires as quick as possible so that they can get back into service and be ready for the next one. They usually don't want to sit around and watch a large structure burn, you know, for maybe 2 hours, 3 hours. You know, it's taking up all the manpower, and while they're there watching that fire, there could be another fire that's just starting. So usually in Detroit, that's not a common thing. I have seen it before, especially a dangerous building that has no chance of extending to anywhere else. The chief does have a discretion to do that.
Probably should let more of these burn and fall right into the basement. Because the city's not going to tear them down.
The so-called vacant dwellings are not vacant, they're occupied by squatters. So, you know, you always have to keep that in the back of your mind that it looks vacant. They say, you know, on the radio, fire report in a vacant dwelling may not always be vacant.
But if it's vacant,
When I lived in Hawaii, they had that hotel I was telling you about. That hotel had so many rooms in it. People would go into that hotel, finding a room up on one of the high, tall floors. And you know what they were doing? They were actually putting locks on those rooms in that hotel. And you get into one of those rooms, they had their houses set up in there with generators and every damn thing. Because at nighttime, nobody is around there. You can do anything you wanted to, you know? So there was people who actually lived in that building, and I know that because I used to go in there all the time, and I could tell when I went past a room that someone lived in. First of all, the door was shut and locked. A lot of them was shut and locked, but a lot of them was open. And it was so dilapidated with keys laying around. It was so many keys laying around on the ground, brass keys everywhere. You could just make money by picking up brass keys and filling them up in a white bucket. But the thing was, a lot of those doors were locked. And they were always rooms with an ocean view. So I know there was people who lived in those rooms that was utilizing the light of the moon at night to see and get around, as well as probably using candles so nobody could really see them. And then they probably had like a kerosene heater or something to stay warm. But it was people who was living in Hawaii that were living in that hotel and doing very well. So mostly, just like what this guy said, what appears to be empty ain't empty. There's always eyes somewhere watching all the time.
Vacant. Nobody's gonna be there sat outside. No cars in the driveway. No toys in the front yard. You know, no electricity on. Windows missing. Bricks missing off the side of the building. Missing doors. It's a lot of things you look for. That, like I'm saying it to you, and I'm saying it in a slow way. But when you pull up at a fire, everything I said to you might take 30 seconds to figure out.
A lot of times, just through experience, when you get one vacant dwelling and you get the same address or the same location,
you know somebody living there.
You kind of pretty much know it's still a vacant dwelling.
People be starting those fires. You hear what he said, a door missing. See, that's what I said, but I said it backwards. I said when I go in a hotel, when I see a door locked, I know somebody lived in there because the door is missing. That means that I can't open it. But all the other doors in the hotel are not locked. But so why is this one locked? because someone lives here. And they put their own lock on it, so when they leave the building, they don't have to worry about no one stealing their stuff. Look at this street light, looking like the sun. Look at the green fire. You're not going to be able to tell my father or my mother that I didn't come and warn you. And you're going to have a lot of questions to ask. They're going to say, did you buy the green light? And what are you going to say? I am the way, the truth, and the light. No one goes to the Father but through me. So you can believe in that Jesus crap if you want to. But Jesus ain't nowhere to help your ass. And you can look at me and say that I'm bad and wrong if you want to. But ain't your Jesus supposed to come back here and burn everything up? That's what you've been telling people I was going to do. So why, while I'm here doing it, you can't get down with that? Oh, because I'm not white. You see, that's because all that white stuff is fairy tale, brainwashed bullshit. That is nothing but rhetorical and has no foundation to it. When you keep on believing that, I'm going to keep burning up shit. And the people that has the green light going, like I said, go right past them. The ones who don't have it, we just see what happens.
Still some water in it. Oh, this is that corner house. This is like the fifth time I've been here. No.
Look at the fire.
There's nothing to pull up with a house, and the people that live in that neighborhood know this is a vacant house. But there's nothing for them to say, somebody's inside,
Of course.
just to watch us, because they know how we're going to act. They know how we're going to respond to that. We're going to go risk our life, give our all, and go in there and say, nobody's in here. A lot of times. You just listen to the radio. They have one today on the east side, I think engine 58 stretch. And they said, box alarm, people trapped. And the first arriving company pulled up on the scene and had to emphasize this is a vacant dwelling.
Let me show y'all something. You see these houses? These are brick houses. Look at them. This is a two. For those of you who didn't grow up in Detroit, you don't know what you're looking at. Let me tell you. This is two houses. See this door here? And that door, this door right here, more than likely go upstairs to the upper unit. And this door right here goes to the bottom unit. But some people, you have your big families who will have this whole house. And they have the whole house rolling it. Then you have your busters who will live up here and roll out the bottom. And up here you'll never see no activity. And you'll just be thinking what's going on down here is what's going on. You'll think this joint is empty because it can have boards all around it and everything. But the fool up here, I'll be balling big time. Out the bottom, you won't know it. You'll think everything up here is empty. That's what they talk about. But this where I'm at. Look how good we was living in Detroit. All us black people was living in these big brick houses like this. Keeping our yards up and everything. Had jobs. We had neighborhood schools where we all went to. Everybody knew each other. White man couldn't stand that. He had to destroy all that. He destroyed it deliberately by removing jobs and putting poison and drugs in our neighborhood. Because after slavery, everybody started growing. They wanted us to be slaves forever. They saying, how these niggas growing up getting all these nice houses and stuff. So they deliberately started throwing curveballs in our shit, giving our women drugs and bad propaganda and everything. So this city was deliberately destroyed like this. Just like you see how they left those freighters in the ocean over in Lagos, Africa, over in Lagos, Nigeria, where all the freaking oil leaked into the damn ocean and killed all the fish and everything. They left them old, dilapidated oil tankers out there. Just like this. This is genocide. That's why the green light is going to kill y'all asses. And don't get mad at me for telling the truth. You can't sit around and just watch this shit happen to us and think that we low-life ass people on the earth and ain't nothing going to get done about it, because the green light is here to do something about it.
That's central. Tell the firemen this is a vacant dwelling because they know people trapped. We go into a whole different mode, a whole different mindset. And you come outside and you're looking for the guy who was standing there saying somebody was inside. He's nowhere to be found.
I think it's a damn joke.
They think that's funny.
Yeah. Stupid shit like that. See that? See?
You would think
that's Detroit though. That's
We
Detroit.
got a lot of missing people in the city of Detroit. I think the last time that I heard, there was about 3,000 people missing in the city of Detroit.
A whole different mindset. And you know, you come outside and you're looking for the guy who was standing there saying somebody was inside. He's nowhere to be found. They think that's funny.
Nothing is routine. You would think it would be.
We got a lot of missing people in the city of Detroit. I think at the last time that I heard, there was about 3,000 people missing in the city of Detroit. Reports to the police department that there's missing people. There was a story on just last night of a father that walked 6 houses down from his family home. His kids were at home, and he hasn't been seen in 3 years. No telltale sign of him, anything. They don't know where he is. Could he be in a vacant home or a vacant building? Yes.
I think.
Could he be dead? Yes. See? You see that shit? He just singled out the possibility that he could be dead. You know? Let me tell you what's going on. They create circumstances in Detroit where people become homeless and then they end up getting arrested and never seen again. They're murdering us melanated people off this planet. That's what it is. White people are killing black people off the planet. They're reducing us where we don't be nothing but their servants. And all this, and you're all getting ready to be punished for that. All of you. I don't care whether you like it or not. The truth of the matter is I was sent here and I've been pointing out to you and I've been telling you about the green light and it's here and I'm so happy. I am so happy.
There was a huge response. There's different priorities. That's what I think. I think the city has dropped the ball years. I mean, they haven't even cared about dealing with anything because they don't really value the citizens of this community. And because they're poor, they know that there isn't going to be any repercussions. Because if another poor kid dies, who gives a shit? And
look at the green light from the sun. The sun gives a shit. That's who gives a shit. That's who's coming to deal with all this murder and that built this shit, tore down all the trees. Look at all the trees that was there, all the wildlife that was here when they got here. And people sustaining themselves and taking care of themselves. And then now they done cut all the trees down and built all these structures and left. And you can see the green everywhere saying, that's all right, I'm going to regenerate. And I'm going to regenerate by moving they fucking asses off this planet. And everybody that doesn't buy a bottle of green light, I'm going to burn they fucking ass up. And then just because you do buy a bottle of green light doesn't mean your ass is not going to get burnt up also. But know this, when this green light starts moving around up here in Portland, Oregon, and Seattle, you better have you a bottle of this green light. And that's all to it. I'm not begging you or anything. I'm just giving you some information that the sunlight told me to give your ass. Because the sun know I did a good job for her. That's why they sent me here. And I got other work to do and I need to be sustained. And the sunlight is what sustains everything. So everybody out there that think it's a damn joke, just go ahead and don't buy your green light and you're going to be checking your ass out of here. Right along with these sorry ass white men that's checking their ass out of here. And you all know what I'm saying is true. Because pay attention to the news. Watch how many people going to come up can't breathe. And watch how many fires going to get started.
no one's going to know. It's only when someone who happens to die in this city that has a name, and then you've got pressure from that family that just goes down hard on the city of Detroit, then something will change.
A kid that's 9 or 10.
Us black people, nobody has respect for us. They don't give a fuck about us. Just like what I went through with that shit for all that time with the court, lost everything. You did everything you could to make sure I wouldn't be a success with my scrap business. Everything I have to go through, you know, fucking all the bullshit. You know, educated man have to deal with sorry ass people that don't want to do anything but worship a dead God. And then you set up policies to make sure that everybody that don't want to be a part of that has to perish and be stagnant like you. Well, guess what? It's all coming to an end. I have to tell you that. You know, if you females were really smart, you would make sure that you buy you a bottle of this green light